Okay, hopefully that's us. Let me just get the chat up so I can see it. So, welcome to another Tuesday live with Craft with Carol. So, put that there so we can see it. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. Now, where did I put all the other bits that I needed? I think I've got here. So, let me make sure I've got everything I need. Well, most importantly, I've got my cup of coffee. And that is really important to me. So let's definitely have that. And hopefully I am live on both YouTube and Facebook. If you are watching, then do let me know by going in the chat. Oh, I had this cold over Easter and it's left me with a cough and I can't seem to get rid of it. So apologies if I end up coughing through this. I'm trying not to cough when I'm making my videos and things, but honestly, difficult. Now, before we actually, well, when we swap, I shall swap over in a minute. So if I swap, let me just do that. You don't want to see my face anyway. Boring. I'll put me in the corner, and yeah, you can see my desk. And I want you to just look at this cup of coffee, because when you look from the top, so more or less, yeah, directly under. So when you look from above at a cup of coffee, you can see a rim and a handle and some coffee in the middle. I'm going to be drinking it very soon, so there won't be that much coffee left in a minute. But yeah, that is the beauty of this particular set that I want to play with today, which is the Latte Love set. It is one of the online exclusives. Forgot what they're called for a minute. The online exclusives, and it's a whole suite of products. So I'm going to show you them all. Then we're going to make a card with them. So I'll just put my stuff to the side so I don't lose that. And I've got some of the stamps ready, so I'll just move those over the way. I better drink some coffee before I then spill it everywhere. Oh my goodness, it's still a bit hot, so I'll drink the rest of it in a minute. So let me show you what the suite comprises of. As I say, online exclusives. So if you go to my website and scroll down on the first page, you'll see there's a whole list of online exclusives, a whole list of various things you can click on. So there is the new catalogue. So make sure you've had a look at the new catalogue, because there are some fabulous things in it. More on those soon. So there's the new catalogue. There is a button or a sort of picture that you can click on, and that will take you to the kits collection. And there's also one for the online exclusives. So that's where you can go to have a look at what's in the online exclusives. And this is one of the new sets, which isn't in the catalogue, it's in the online exclusives. So it's called Latte Love, and this is the stamp set. And if I bring that a bit closer, you'll be able to see it better. So it's got you can see the coffee cup from above. And then you've got coffee art that you can put in. Then you've got little steam things coming off the cups or the mugs. You've got a mug and various other little things like a spoon and coffee beans and a coffee splatter. And there's also a few nice sentiments. Hello, you can see those. Hello there, let's catch up. Thanks so much. This one's on me. You're the best part of my day. Really nice sentiments as well for general cards. But that is not all. The stamp set comes with a set of dies, and the dies are really great because they don't only just cut out all of the things in the stamp. So you've got the cup and the coffee art thing and the beans and the spoon and separate beans. It's got a lot of other dies as well. So it's got two little bits of, well, they're sort of ovals, and there's a big oval. The big oval fits inside the mug, which cuts out there, and the little ovals fit just inside the cups, so you can see a little oval of coffee or whatever inside your cup, which is rather sweet. Then you've got a percolator, you've got a big jug, you've got what is, I think, a sort of block of coffee that can go in the percolator. You've got a filter jug and coffee to go in that, and I think this is a handle for the filter. I think that's what that is, a handle for the filter jug, because most filter jugs have a handle that flips up, isn't it? So I think that's what that is. I've not used that one, so I'm not sure. Then there's a top for the jar. There's this one for the mug. I think I've shown you all of those. I mean, they're just fantastic. The group of coffee beans cuts out with that one. So lovely range of dies that actually matches this gorgeous set. And I'm going to be using some of those in a bit that I can show you. And other bits of the suite that you can buy, the designer series paper, and I've already used quite a bit because I've really fallen in love with this suite. So you've got one set, which is this gorgeous sort of swirly pattern in petal pink and crumb cake, I think, or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. And then this lovely pattern, which has got early espresso and swirls behind it. You can see a strip of it there that I've already cut off to use elsewhere. Then there are two sheets with coffee mugs with coffee art in them, and the dies fit these, so you can cut these out with dies. I've done that for today's project. On the back of that one, there's coffee stains, which I rather like that one, but I love the mugs as well. Difficult when you like both sides of the paper. Coffee beans on that one, and a plaid sort of check pattern in different colours. I'm quite surprised about those, but they do match some of the other colours in the set. Then there's a swirly pattern, which is much darker, early espresso and pecan pie. Oops, can't turn that one over. And that has flirty flamingo and coffee beans on the back. There's my other sheet of the, see, I haven't used that sheet yet. No, I think that's more or less all the sheets. Oh, there's this one, yes. So this one has got, upside down the way I'm holding it, but never mind. It's got like a filter and mug and different types of mugs in different colours. And you've got, as I say, the filters, and you can cut all of those out. I'm not sure, I don't think these have got dies with them, but I think the filter die does fit these. Let me just have a check. I don't know. Let's try it and see. So, is that filter? No, it wouldn't, because it needs a, yeah, it's got a handle on it. No, so it won't. So these don't fit dies, this particular sheet, but obviously you could fussy cut those. They're not too bad to fussy cut. And on the back of that, rather a nice pattern, just little tiny coffee mugs, beans and spoons. And then we've got splatters in pecan pie and early espresso again. And that's got a rather nice sort of stripy, Lost Lagoon stripy pattern on the back, which is rather nice. And then, yes, I think I've shown you all those. There we go. Those are all the papers. So again, a huge pack of paper. It's all 12 by 12, so plenty of it. I've made quite a few cards already, and you see there's still an awful lot left. So that's brilliant. And also as part of the suite, there is a lovely set of these adhesive back swirls, swirly dots. Let me show you these up close. Just take them out of the packet because you can see them better, and you see the three colours, because one of the colours is covered by the fold in the packet. So there we have them. So we've got a real nice sort of coffee colour, sort of pecan, I think that's pecan pie. Then we've got pretty in pink, and we've got a nice just beige one, crumb cakey one at the bottom. But I don't know if you can see the detail in them. There's real detail. Hopefully, I'm holding that so you can see the detail. Really swirly detail in it, which is, yeah, just wonderful. So they're rather beautiful, these adhesive dots. Put them away in a bit. And then you have this ribbon. It's called a natural ribbon. It's a jute ribbon, so it's pretty thick, and it's got these gorgeous white dots on it. So I think it ties. I haven't tried tying a bow with it. Let's just see if it ties a nice bow. It's quite thick, so it might not be easy to tie a bow with, and especially if I'm trying such a tiny bow. But oh, it does actually. It ties a beautiful bow. Okay, so it does tie a lovely bow as well, which is nice. So there we have it. Might use that. I'll leave the bow tied. So there's that ribbon too. So loads of it too. How much is there on there? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't say on there, does it? Oh yeah, approximately 10 yards. 10 yards of ribbon is enough to do anybody for a lifetime nearly. There's a lot of ribbon in that. Okay, so let's have a look at the card I want to do today, because I want to go through a technique today rather than just make a card. So I've got an envelope and I've already stamped that. I've used this splatter stamp, and I've just used pecan pie stamped off. So I've stamped one in pecan pie and then two of the blob clusters in stamped off pecan pie. So that was just to do the envelopes. That's already done. And then the bits I need for this card, I've written them out so I don't forget. First of all, there's the card base, and this is our normal card base, which is 21 by 14.8, scored at 10.5 in centimetres, or in inches, 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, scored at 4.25. And I've used pecan pie for this. Quite a dark card stuck in a way, but I think it suits this actual project. So then I have 2 pieces of DSP, and I've used that rather nice pecan pie and early espresso swirly paper for that. And I've cut 2 pieces of those, and they are 10 by 14.3 or 4 inches by 5¼ inches. So we want those 2. Then we also want, you see, I've already done some work on this, so I wasn't going to spend too long doing it. 2 pieces of card, which are 12 by 8. I have to write that down so I don't forget, because it's not a normal size for us. It's 12 centimetres by 8 centimetres or 4¾ inches by 3⅛ inches. So just leave that there because I'll need it when I come to write the blog. And there's 2 pieces of that, one for the inside and one for the outside. And I'm going to make this card landscape style, so it'll actually open that way. So let us get on. I've actually done the inside. I've actually decorated it because I didn't want to spend time doing that during this live, because I don't like to spend too long on the live and it can get boring watching it. So I've actually stamped that with one of the sentiments from the set, "You're the best part of my day," and I've put some splatters around. I've left this one free because I've also die cut 2 of the cups of coffee from that sheet I showed you, and I'm going to use those on here. Might use 1, might use 2, haven't decided yet, but I've got those cut out. But the bit I wanted to, in fact, let me stick that all together so you see. So I just need to glue the DSP inside, because we're going to have that as a layer inside as well as outside. So I'll do this bit first. Just very quickly. So yes, let's finish off the inside and then we can focus on the outside. So as I said, I've already stamped this bit, get the right bit, this bit. So this bit is going inside the card. So let's put that just in the middle. So the reason I've cut these quite smaller than my usual second layer is because I really want to see some of this glorious paper behind. I don't want to hide it all. So that's why these are a little bit smaller than usual. So as I said, I've always also cut out these, and I'm going to just stick these on. Have to be flat because it's inside the card. I can't use dimensionals inside a card, obviously. So we'll have the darker one there, and then we'll have the one with, I can't tell what that pattern is. Is it a fish? I don't know, or hearts actually. That's quite nice. Hearts that way up, so let's do that. So we'll just have a little bit of glue on that. Put that back in my glue holder that I made last week. Watch the video if you haven't seen that one. So we'll have that one there, just on top. So they're overlapping, both stuck flat, and there's still room to actually write a little bit there. So that's going to be the inside of my card. For the front, again, I'm going to stick my DSP down. So we'll stick that down first, because then I'll show you the technique that I wanted to show you, which is the exciting bit of this particular card. This is an ordinary card otherwise, but there we go. So I'll stick that on. Now I've got 2 pieces. I've got a scrap because I'm going to use that for the sentiment. But the bit I wanted to show you is, and I'm going to need our wonderful silicone mat. So you need a piece of silicone or the silicone mat. Mine's absolutely filthy. It's got bits on it, but never mind. It'll still work, because I want to show you reverse stamping, because the lovely mug in this set, which is beautiful, it's a lovely stripy mug which we can colour in, but it only has the handle one side. So if I stamp it, we're always going to have our mugs pointing outwards. And I really would like 2 mugs together, but if I stamp them like that, it really isn't going to work very well. So I am going to show you how we would do reverse stamping. I'm going to put the reverse one on first, because then I'll be able to judge where to put the other one much more easily. Now, you can use a stamparatus for this, and it's actually easy to use because you can get it in the right place. But because a lot of people haven't got them and really can't get them anymore because they're not for sale anymore, sadly, I want to show you how to use it without any stamparatus. So we're going to use a silicone mat as a sort of stamp. So I need mine to be as clean as it is, not very, never mind. So I'm going to have this, I'm going to have it at an angle like this. So I'm going to make sure it's really well inked up. Ink on my mat. Ooh, silly me, dropped it. Do it again so we can just wipe it off. That's the beauty of the silicone, cleans easily. So do not drop your stamp on the mat. That's really stupid. Lives, there's always something, isn't there? So yeah, that's dry. I can do it again. So I'll have my mug there, and this time I will not drop my stamp. There, better. And now what I can do is I can place my card over where I want that to be, and then just press down really hard on the back. And hopefully we get a beautiful mug. See how easy that is. It's picked up just about all the ink off there, but as I say, you can just wipe it with a chamois just to clean it. And there is reverse stamping. So now I can stamp my other mug to mirror that. So now I can stamp it what I call the right way up, I suppose. So I wanted these mugs to sort of say hello together. There we go. So that is reverse stamping, and it is so easy when you've got a sheet. So if you've got a particular stamp that you want another way round, perhaps, I don't know, it might be flowers. Mugs are particular, or glasses. So champagne flutes, although they don't have handles because they haven't really got sides, but anything where you want to have a mirror image, that is the way to do it. So that's the technique today. If that's all you wanted to see, then obviously you can go, but I'll show you the rest of my card. So those are my mugs. I'm going to colour them if I haven't lost my, I think I must have put my pens away. Just excuse me while I reach them out again. My increasingly big box of pens. That's dark pecan pie, so might be a little bit too dark. I think I really want crumb cake if I can find my crumb cake. We'll see. I'll leave pecan pie out as well, but we'll leave her crumb cake. And I want early espresso is the other one I want. This is causing a noise, isn't it? Oh, where's early espresso? I have too many. You can't have too many blends. You really can't have too many blends. But I might need to find a better way to actually have them together. Oops. Can't find early espresso. Never mind. I'll use bronze instead. That's okay. Perhaps I haven't got an early espresso. I don't know. There aren't blends for absolutely all the colours, but I did think there was an early espresso. Anyway, never mind. I'm very good at not finding blends, but oh no, I can leave that out because I'll do my sentiment while I'm here. So my sentiment, I've used the Hello There and Let's Catch Up from the set. So I'm just going to stamp that on this piece here. About there, yeah. So this is just a scrap that I had. Always keep my scraps for stamping things on. So as I say, if you are there, please do say hello. I never know if I'm just talking to nobody or whatever, but I do know a lot of people do look at this after the event, which does mean I can't chat to you and can't reply to any questions, but yeah, do let me know if you are there. Okay, so we've done our reverse stamping, so we've got our two mugs. I've done my sentiment. I couldn't think of the word then. Done my sentiment. So that's ready. So I just need to colour my mugs now. So I'm going to start off with some crumb cake because I want them to be quite light, and then I'm going to put coffee in them. So we'll have crumb cake. So I'm starting off with the light colour. So this is a little bit about colouring as well, folks, here. So I'm going to use the lighter colour first. I might need to use the pecan pie, we'll see, but I'm just going to use crumb cake for now. So I'm going to use that all around here. And I don't need to do too much of that because I'm going to put some coffee in it in a bit. So I'm just going to colour around all this quite quickly. I seem to use crumb cake more than any other colour, I have to say. Not being too worried about the lines at the top because that's going to be covered, but I am a bit more careful about the lines at the bottom, not going over them. And same with the handle. Now, if you're being if you're doing colouring properly, then you wouldn't do both of those and then come in with the dark. You do it bit by bit, but I have to say I am not the best of colourers, but this is just as me. So I'm just colouring in, again, following the mug itself and using the colour and the lines on the stamp that help me decide where I need to put a little bit of darker colour. And same on the inside of the handle, because that's where shadow is. There we have that. So I'll match that on the other side. So the inside of the handle, and then matching down with these colours. I can go over it again with the is that a message on my phone or tough? Because I can't see messages when I'm actually using it to film things. So sorry if that beep came through. I don't know if it did or not. But I heard it here. So there we go. That's coloured that in. And I can go back over the edges of those with the original light, just to bring that in a little bit. There we go. And as that dries, you'll see it just gives the picture of 3D. So that is my very quick colouring. It's not nearly as good as some wonderful people like Mitsutsu Crafts. And go and watch Jay there. If you want to learn how to colour, he is the person to go to. He really is. So I think we'll stick with the crumb cake there. And I'm going to use this bronze colour to do coffee. So I'm going to use the edge of the mug as the guide for where I need to put my coffee. There we go. So now I have 2 mugs filled with coffee. Well, I will have in a minute when I've done this one. There we go. Won't use pecan pie at all. Put those back. There is my coffee. Really quite like those. So I don't know if you can see that the shading on the colouring just gives a sort of feeling of 3D to those mugs, which I quite like. I could have done some shading outside of them as well. That really helps too. But hey, I haven't got that long to do it with. So I'm going to just, let me get the correct pad out. That was pecan pie. So I'm going to use my crumb cake to put some background on here. And I shall probably, if I can find, I did have a sheet. Is it under there? No. I have lost my sheet that I was using to stamp off on. That's very sad. I'll have to get another one. Right. I'm sure I've got a scrap sitting here somewhere. It's probably disgusting. Oh, yes, it is, but never mind, it will do. You can see how much stamping off and things I've done. Don't look at that sheet too much because it's covered. It doesn't matter. So I just want really light coffee splodges around the edge here. So I'm stamping off, which means I stamp the stamp off on the paper first. And I'm just having splodges, part splodges, some full splodges, whatever, just to go around here. Have them in different directions. One more. There we go. So I've got my coffee splodges round just to give it a little bit of a background. There. Oh, that stamp's rather disgusting now. Let me just clean it. So clean my mug stamp too. Pecan pie does tend to stain stamps a little bit, so it's worth cleaning stamps more or less straight after you've used them. So there we have. Now I'm thinking of putting some ribbon on. Can't decide. I could use my lovely bow that I've just done. Shall I use my lovely bow? If I'd done my mugs a little bit higher, that might work. What do you think? My bow looks odd with just one. I might need to cut my bow off. Where's my scissors? I'll have a nice pointy end to it as well. There's my bow, which I'm very proud of. Just showing you how to do it. I might have my bow on. Do I want my bow and something else? Perhaps I just have my bow. What do you think? Anybody there? Hi, Anne. You ordered the set. Jolly good. I've got lots more cards. Watch later in the week. The post that's coming out on Friday morning, and the video that comes out then, has another card of this, actually, a fun fold. And I don't think I can stop playing with it, so there'll be plenty more as well. Okay. What do you think? I need ideas. Shall I have just the bow on it, or shall I have a strip of ribbon as well? It does look better, I think, if you've got a bow on a strip. I don't know. What do you think? Ideas, folks. I need somebody to tell me what to do. I think we'll go with some ribbon. Why not? So this is why I haven't stuck this down yet, because I'm going to, if I use my board, and one of the beauties of the board, it gives you lines to follow. So I can use some of my tear and tape, which is what I'm going to stick the bow on, and make sure it's straight by using the lines on my board. Tear off so I've got a little bit of an overlap to wrap around the back. There. And then we can stick some ribbon on. So we'll start with the bit round the back to hold it down. There. And then I can take my ribbon across. I'm going to trim it before I stick it down. It's quite thick ribbon to work with, so it's worth not pulling it around the desk too much, because it is quite heavy. You think that sounds good, thank you. Let's see what it looks like when I've done it. So with my piece of ribbon across the bottom, and then I can fold it around this side, and hopefully it will stick down nicely. There we go. And it isn't very straight, despite me. I think it's the tape is straight. The ribbon perhaps isn't quite as straight. Let's just straighten it out and press it down into the sticky. There we go. That's better. So there. Let me just move that as well. That's disgusting, that piece of paper, but it did its job. And I think we might stick that on. It's quite bulky, actually. The only thing I'd say is can you see the bulk in that? See how thick it is? That's about 2 dimensionals thick. So my only problem is, if I'm going to post this card, not sure that's a good idea. So there are a couple of options for something thinner. That is quite thick. Yeah, I can't stick that on and post the card. But one thing I can try is just making a simple knot. I've just pulled my beautiful bow out. I must be mad. Anyway, let's just try a simple knot like that. So I can try a simple knot, which rather than tie it round this piece, I'm just going to trim it off here, and we'll just have a knot on it. And that will be a lot easier because it's not as thick. It's still fairly thick. I've pulled it as tight as I can, so it's still fairly thick. But if I stick this down flat, that isn't too much size to put on to post without too much problem. So we'll stick that on. I'm going to use a couple of glue dots to stick that on, and I do mean a couple, because that is it's quite thick, so I need to make sure there's plenty of gunge on the back of there. So we'll have two dots on, and that should stick it. There. Yeah, good. So now I can stick this onto here. I was thinking of putting it up on dimensionals, but to be honest, not now I've put that depth on it with the cut piece of the ribbon that I've tied in a knot. That gives, to be honest, more than enough depth. So we're going to stick this on flat in the middle of the card, or as middle as I can get. It's always slightly difficult sticking straight edges onto swirly backgrounds, because it's difficult to make sure it's straight, but I think that's pretty good. No, it's not straight, so the beauty of Tombow means I can use the wiggle room to move it slightly, make sure it's now straight. So there, we've got that on, and then I had my hello there, which I'm just going to stick up here, and that means I cut it about here. Lost my scissors again. Honestly, do not cut with my ribbon scissors. I need my other scissors. I'm just going to cut that off like that, and then I'm going to just put an arrow in the edge. And if you've seen me before, I'll show you how I do my arrows to make sure they're as neat as they possibly can be. I use my desk, and I use the little squares on the desk. So I want that about 2 holes in, and I want to get the middle, which is it's 4 holes wide, or 2 centimeters. So I can use the desk to make those marks, and then if I cut from one mark to the other, like that, I get a perfect point. Okay, So that you can see I've still got the marks on there. So I made 2 marks, used my lines to make sure they were straight, top and bottom, and then one in the middle at the end, and then cut between the two. And that gave me a really nice point, which is what I wanted. And I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. I think this is a gorgeous set, and I think people tend to miss online exclusives. I don't think, I'm certainly not as good as I ought to be at telling people about them. Oops. So do have a look on the website because they are just beautiful. And as I say, if you go on my website, craftycarolscards.co.uk, you'll see the link to the online exclusives there. So pop this up in this corner. I'm going to have it not quite to the edge. There we go. And there is my card. What I've got to decide is, do I put some of these on or not? I've got a feeling it might be too much with the ribbon and the background. I think I might leave having any blobs. I'm thinking of possibly just putting 3 up in the corner. What do you think? What do you think, folks? Anybody there who's live with me today, let me know. Should I put some blobs up in that corner or not? I've got the 3 different colours. I think I'd probably use these, possibly these. Just put a little line of 3. What do you think? Shall I bother or not? Let me know. I'm going to finish my coffee while you talk. If you weren't here at the start, I showed you what a coffee cup looks like from the top. And that is why I cut out, die cut from the beautiful set of DSP, the coffee cups in there. Oh, I've used the Flirty Flamingo edged ones, so I could use Flirty Flamingo-y dots. That might look good. What do you think? Shall I put them on? I'm not getting anything back from anybody, so I think I'll do it anyway. Let's see what it looks like. So we're just going to have 3 dots across the top here. There. What do you think? Add to it or not? Who knows? Who knows? So just to recap for this card, I've used reverse stamping using our silicone sheet, so you can get the reverse image of the image you're using. Such a useful way to do that. And the video will be up later. Well, it's live, so you can watch it any time after it finishes. And you would leave it a bit late. I've put them on. They're the problems of being online and time delays and things, but I'm putting them on anyway. Well, they're on now. So yeah, it's used this beautiful Latte Love set. And all I've done, I say, all of the measurements for all of these bits will be in my blog later on today. So we've got the DSP, the basic white layer on a base of pecan pie card. I've used the dies to cut out these images from the beautiful DSP that we have. Bring that in as well so you can see some of that. I've used this sheet that's got lots and lots of different cups on it. So I've used those 2 in there. These are sentiments from the set, and my coffee splodges, which I just love, I've used as a background here. I've got my reverse stamped image and my basically normal stamped image, coloured them in, put some coffee in them, bit of ribbon, a couple of dots because I do actually like them now. I've put them on, and I've put the sentiment there. So I hope you quite like this card. I hope it's given you some ideas for your own, and I hope it gives you the idea to go and look at this lovely range of online exclusive products, because they really are absolutely beautiful. Let me try and get them all in shot. If I move my coffee, it would help. There we go. So has anyone got any questions or anything you want to ask? Otherwise, thank you for joining me today. Oh, somebody's just joined just as I've finished. That's not brilliant, is it? But as I say, you'll be able to rewatch this on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so, because I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers and I'm very excited about that. I'd love to reach 1,000. And also, as I say, all the instructions and how to do this are in the blog. So do go there if you want any further information. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you liked that card, and watch my website and my channel for more. There'll be another video out at the end of the week which uses this suite again, because I can't stop playing with it. I'll probably have a couple more cards next week. Who knows? Because I just love the suite. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.